Elentila Lumenomentielvo. Welcome to Tolkien on Tap. I'm TJ. Grab a drink and enjoy. Almien. Anyways, I don't know where the fuck we were. Welcome to Tolkien on Tap, where I get a little inebriated, and then we just kind of talk about whatever, even though we had a topic, and I have forgotten where we were in the time. So the next ones you're doing, Krishane, are, what did you say, July 17th?
July 17th is the next one.
Okay.
But they're weekly after that again. So basically, we did like a 3-week chunk, and then there's a month gap, and then we're going to do another 3-week chunk for the last.
So how come you did the first 3 books and then a gap instead of the first 2 and then a gap, like Tolkien did?
I did not create the schedule. That was Kate.
Oh, we should have fucking got Kate on here then. Get her in here to be like, answer for your crimes.
That's Kate though for coming up.
I guess it isn't. Yeah, it is in her Discord. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, I might do.
Why aren't you doing it in your Discord this time?
I have my own Discord. I might do. I mean, this all just came about as part of the whole watch party experience that she started with like season 2 Rings of Power during the holiday season and everything, and this was kind of a continuation of that. I might honestly just do like make this an annual thing and do an annual watch of the fan edits with folks at some point in my Discord.
Yeah, is anyone that was in the Rings of Power season 2 rewatch watching it?
Avery has been joining.
Avery's been there? Yeah. I need to get fucking Avery on this podcast. That's my stoner that I need.
Yes.
That's my fucking stuff. Dude,
and
Zach.
Avery's been talking about this book that he's writing or series of books. Like, yeah, get Avery on here.
I do need Avery on here. Avery and Marjorie, they're my stoners.
Yeah, I thought Marjorie was going to be joining us, but Marjorie has not been joining us, so I hope everything's going okay with Marjorie.
I talk to Marjorie. Her and I talk every couple of weeks, like just check in with each other, just see how we're doing. Last I heard, she's fine. Yeah. But Avery's my fucking stoner. Like, do you remember how fucking wasted he was?
He was so stoned.
Yeah, dude. Like I would make a joke. Dude, Zach, no joke. I would make like die
laughing.
Yeah, I'd make it like a gay joke, and Avery would be like, "Oh my god, you're so right," and then just lose it.
That is how it is.
I fucking absolutely love Avery. He's such a fucking amazing human being. yes, he is like awesome. literal like the embodiment of joy as a person. Like if there was a Tom Bombadil in real life, it would be Avery.
Fan casting.
Yeah, I'm fan casting Avery as Tom Bombadil.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I just thought it was interesting that you did like halfway through the story instead of like the first 2 books, which would have been the full Fellowship, and then a break, then the 2 Towers, and then an even longer break because of to emulate Tolkien's weight.
And I think that's kind of what I was shooting for initially, but Kate was also co-organizing, and I know summer's just busy for everybody, and I think it's busy for Kate, so this is what worked for Kate's schedule. And
I got you.
I get it.
Like, so in the fan edit, speaking of, now I'm thinking of like the timeline of the book, and you said earlier when Aragorn was sitting around daydreaming about between Gandalf asking about Frodo and him thinking of Arwen saying that his fate lies with Frodo. Was there a part of you that thought like, I'm gonna take the Arwen stuff and like make an epilogue that would have been called the Appendices and done the tale of Aragorn and Arwen as that? There would have been a half an hour if that, but
that's how Kerr, the fan editor whom I took inspiration from, actually did it. Moved it into essentially a short film appendices style.
That's heavy.
I didn't care for it personally.
Okay, that's fair.
I like the story being integrated with everything else and kind of doing it in a different way where you have these like memories that he's replaying in his mind or visions or dreams. Like I actually re-edited some things where she's actually coming to him in a dream in Return of the King.
Okay.
So, and that's very Tolkienian, in my opinion, like visions and dreams and memories and like living in the past, sort of. Anyway, yes,
that brings up.
The answer is it has been done. That's not how I wanted to do it, because even Tolkien himself wanted her in the main narrative, but couldn't find a way to do it in the book, which I agree with. It would totally disrupt the flow of a book to integrate her more into that main narrative, but you have different options with the film.
So that brings up another really interesting question. Since you're talking specifically about like having things as flashback in a visual medium, because that is the difference between the page and the screen. Is on the page you have your own imagination and your own oh boy, this is when words fail me. Welcome to Tolkien on Tap, where TJ forgets what words are. Attention span. There it is. I don't. If you could have been in my brain to watch the movie that just went on, for me to get to the phrase attention span, it would have been a fucking roller coaster, like for you, like it was for me. So when it's on the page, it's your own attention span, and I understand. I like the narrative of the book and how it is linear per book, right? Like, because I think I would have been like, so I've read some of A Song of Ice and Fire, and when it goes between like chapter to chapter, you're at different, like specifically when you're starting in the second book, Clash of Kings, I think. I don't remember. I can't recall. I didn't like it to begin. I liked the first book, and then after that, I was like, yeah. So I read A Game of Thrones from The Song of Ice and Fire, and then I read the second. I started reading the second book, and I was like, this doesn't tie to anything. And then it went to a different character, and I was like, this still doesn't tie to anything. What the fuck? And I was so mad. But so at least like within Tolkien's work, when it shifts between narratives, until that part of the narrative is over, because you have, like, even within the books, you have a almost a beginning, middle and end, because there is still a climax and a turning point and a fuck, what's the end of it called, Zach?
Denome.
No, on the after the climax, and you come back because you have like the inciting incident, and then you go up to the something else, and then a turning point, and then the climax. And after climax, you've got the downward angle. Do you remember doing this when you were in school, where they would? My school was really artsy for some reason. I don't know why.
I was homeschooled, so probably not.
Oh shit! Never mind. I forgot you said that. But anyways,
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Not, so after not the epilogue, but the
Unwind.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like the back end of a climax, like after the bad shit happens, like, and there's like a fucking come down or whatever. So like there is still that within Tolkien's narrative of book 3, 4, 5, and 6 technically is a little bit different because like everyone's story comes together. So 3, 4, and 5 still have that like beginning, middle, and end feel to them, because they all do still have like yes, this is like sometimes their baseline starts not at the same as the very first book, but the baseline still is the baseline, and then something happens, and then the shit gets ramped up and ramped up and ramped up and ramped up, and then I guess the inciting incident happens way earlier, but maybe it's a little different. I don't know. I have to have the goddamn graph in front of me. I think I just fucked up my entire fucking point. It does still feel like there's more of a narrative within Tolkien's whether it be 3, 4, and 5, even if you don't intercut it, even if it is just specifically like this is Pippin, Merry, Aragorn, Legolas, Gandalf, and Gimli. Gimli, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to put you last. I love you very much, brother, especially in the book. And then you go to Frodo, Sam, and Gollum, and then you go back to the others, and then it breaks fucking up even more. But there is still. I guess it does get a little. Does break up even more in the Return of the King. Ooh, that had to be even harder for you, because like
book 3, it breaks up the most, is because that's when Pippin goes off with Gandalf. So before that, for a while you kind of had everybody together,
Yeah.
Then Pippin looks into the Palantir and then goes off with Gandalf.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. It's like, oh shit, it does get even weirder in.
Yeah, and then it does. You're right. It does break up
5.
more in book 5 because then you have the Paths of the Dead and Mary gets left behind, so it breaks up even more again. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got 3 storylines in one book, and then you go back and you have, well, book 6 is you've got technically one storyline that then converges with the other 3.
It all comes together. Yeah.
Which probably is why Return of the King works the way it works, is because like it splinters really early, and then by the end of the book, everything's back together. Everyone's back together. Who started it? That isn't dead.
I need to go back and reread these now.
Pour one out for Boromir right now.
Oh man, don't even listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Boromir, man. I remember being drawn to him in the films, and then I remember, and it's been a minute since I've read all the books, but I remember loving him. I remember being drawn to him in the film and being very much like, this isn't fair to Boromir. Like, and before I even read the books, I was like, this isn't fair. I don't feel like this is his fault. Why is everybody being mean to him? It's not his fault. And like, I don't know why I even felt that way, but then I remember when I read the books, I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. He is so much greater and so much better than in the movies. And again, I love them. I will die on pretty much any hill for the movies, because that's what I'm so drawn to and what I love so much. But what I was like, he is so much better in the book, and like I understand why they made the decisions that they did for the films. For the most part, I mean, I get timing. I get like they need to have a protagonist or an antagonist for the protagonist, and I understand it. But like knowing the story,
But do they? Who's
the
antagonist?
In a perfect world, no.
Who's the antagonist in Requiem for a Dream? The drug itself is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good point.
Well,
that's a very good point. I just I think that they could have made Boromir obviously tempted and susceptible to temptation,
which they should have.
Playing up his bravery more than they did.
I agree.
Yeah.
His bravery and his strength and his desire to do good.
So here's my counter. I think that the reason people read Boromir from the film the way they read Boromir is because there's no media literacy, or there's not enough. Because what does he say in the film? He says that Gondor is keeping your lands safe. He says that his father is doing his best and that his people are running thin, or however he words it. I can't remember exactly. By your land and your land's kept safe. You know, like he's pleading and telling them that, like, listen, Gondor is doing everything we can. Like, we are right the fuck up against, like, he literally says that, like, we can, like, Mordor's right there. We can fucking see it. We have to do everything we can every single day to keep everybody else safe, because Mordor is right the fuck by us, and we are doing everything we can, and we are running thin. So I personally think that it's a media literacy thing, because I don't think they needed to add anything extra to Boromir's character, because I think Boromir is already the way he's supposed to be. The only thing they left out was like how big and strong he is, because of like the Carathras scene. I'm sorry, that he doesn't like carry like fucking 17 hobbits down the fucking mountainside.
Well, I really love too, like, if in the extended edition, that scene when they take back what is it, Osgiliath, and they're celebrating, and that is without any influence of the ring at all on Boromir. And you can just, there is, in my opinion, when I watch that scene, I see a very strong and gentle Boromir, and like, who's there for his brother, who still loves his father, like, who's very caring and gentle, even though he's like this big, you know, champion, the captain of the guard, right? Like, he is. But there's this lovingness and gentleness that you see when he's talking to his little brother, and talking to his father, and talking like to even his army after they win. And then in contrast to that, if you go back to Fellowship of the Ring, and how very stern and coarse he feels in the presence of the ring. Like, I don't know if that was the way that they wanted it to be filmed, or if that's just how it was. But that's what, when I see that, the coarseness and things that I see, I always attributed that to being a man in the presence of the ring.
And that is a better read than what most people would have.
And that's why I was like, this isn't fair. He's the only one out of the entire fellowship that's like just a normal person. And of course he's going to be the one that's tempted. I don't understand why everybody's getting so pissed off at him.
Well, to be fair, Sam's actually the only one who's the normal person.
Well,
Boromir is still technically like a lord, or the son of a lord. But I get what you're saying. Like he is the one. But, and also on top of that, like all these things where like he every single day is, and it's shown in the extendeds of the Two Towers, like you said, he's fighting every single fucking day. His brother is fighting every single fucking day. His father has to figure shit out every single fucking day. It's tiresome. It's taxing. And people, even without that scene from Two Towers, he says everything you need to know in the council.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every single thing. On top of the fact that everybody else at that council, with the exception of Gandalf and maybe Legolas, is doing what against the armies of Sauron? I'm saying Legolas because of Dol Guldur, and we know that Khamulu.
And
nothing.
Aragorn's been,
he helped to look for Gollum.
But that's not fighting against the armies of Mordor.
It's not directly fighting against the armies of Mordor.
No, he's like ranging, and like I'm not trying to downplay like Aragorn did nothing. I want to make sure that people know I'm not down. Like, I love Aragorn. Every single member of the Fellowship is important. You do not get the ring to fucking Mount Doom without every single fucking member of the Fellowship, including Boromir.
And that's.
But what I mean is, like, on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, he's on the front lines.
Yes. And Legolas is really close to the front lines of Khamul, who is the second in command of the Nazgul.
Yep.
So, like, those two specifically are doing shit every single fucking day, you know? And I mean, Legolas lives in fucking Mirkwood, dude. Like, there's fucking Shelob's kids everywhere, you know? Like, the dude lives in fucking Nightmare Land. Like, what the fuck?
That's a good point.
Right, and Boromir lives on the fucking border of, like, Nightmare World. You know, if we're going like Disneyland and Disney World.
I would actually argue that maybe it's not the way they actually directly characterize Boromir, but the way that they have other characters interact with him that makes him, that paints him as more of a villain than he needed to be. Like, you don't.
I would expand on that. Expand on that.
You don't need to have Aragorn on the pass of Caradhras, like gripping his sword, worried that Boromir is just like freak the fuck out.
Yes, because Aragorn would never, ever, ever think of Boromir that way.
So I think that's about how the other characters are viewing Boromir and interacting with him in this specific adaptation.
Because
it's difficult for other people to read how he really is as a person.
That's a good point. Did you edit that out?
I did.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, because you're absolutely right. Because Aragorn would know. First of all, the ring doesn't fall off of Frodo on Caradhras, so we don't even get Boromir picking it up.
Okay, so
and I know why they did it in the film, and it's because they're trying to foreshadow what's going to happen.
Right.
Which do you really need to in this type of film where you characterize the ring as not a malevolent force, but as a drug? Right. I don't think you need that. I really don't think you need that. I think you can just cut that whole fucking part out.
I do have that scene in there, but I made it less severe.
No, and that's fine. I'm just saying
where the ring falls off, it happens. Boromir does pick it up, but it's less of a confrontation.
And on the flip side of that, I think having that scene, even though it's not like from the book, I think it could be without Aragorn gripping the sword. I think that can be a very important scene as well. Because not only is Boromir a man picking up the One Ring, but he gives it back to Frodo.
And that's a great point, Zach. That's a fucking great point.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, like that's it. Like how many men can just like take the one ring and then hand it back to the ring bearer and be okay with that?
Yeah, and
you
just
know what I mean?
And just what, Krishane?
And just keep going.
Like, exactly.
On your journey and doing the thing that you said that you were going to do.
And so I have two thoughts on this. First of all, I don't necessarily like that Boromir picked it up at all, given what happens later on. Actually, I have three thoughts. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like that Boromir picked it up and then gives it back at all because of what happens later. And if they had made the ring a malevolent force that acts upon a person's will instead of being a fucking drug, that means that nobody has any fucking agency whatsoever, it would have worked better in general had he, God damn it, computer, had he picked up the ring and given it back, but still faltered a little bit. And then also, if you keep it in, but you make it a malevolent force and not a fucking drug that people have no agency for, so you're keeping it now you're keeping it that the ring acts upon you. It doesn't change you. It acts upon you and your wants and your desires, which is the same word as wants. Then later, you can add in, grab your drinks, the Faramir part where and you could add the line, were it lying on the side of the road, I would not take this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like an extension of Boromir.
Yeah.
It's the two sides of the same coin. We're like, I care not, but you can tell he cares. Whereas Faramir is like, why do we drink? I said it again. Whereas Boromir's brother is like, nah, man, if this is on the side of the road, I don't give a fuck. Or even you could have him see it and like do the sword thing still, which I don't like that because that's a little too aggressive for that character. But you could still have him do that if you want, and it makes more fucking sense. Also, don't do Osgiliath. No matter what, don't do Osgiliath.
For flow, they may travel through there very briefly to get to where they're going, but there are events that really happen there. And that's the other challenge with like making a fan edit is you do have to have flow. It still has to be watched. You don't want it to be a collection of scenes. So that being said,
I might want it to just be
to the crossroads, you have to have something in between there with what we're given. Otherwise, it's like, what? Where are they now? What? So there is a little bit of a transition there, but again, no events happen. No substantial events.
You tell me you didn't just put in the SpongeBob like 2 hours later. And then suddenly, like from Henethanoon, they're down at the crossroads.
That would be great, but no.
Or like 2 weeks later.
Honestly, I would. It's so funny. I had a dream a couple weeks ago where I went to Peter Jackson's house and we just sat and I got to talk to him. And like in my dream.
Oh, in a dream.
I wish.
I was like, oh my god, and then I went, oh shit, he said his dream.
Yeah, in real life, that is actually a dream that I would love to actually do. I would love to actually meet him someday and shake his hand, and because again, he's the one that inspired me to become a filmmaker myself. So, but in the dream, I remember talking to him and like asking him questions about the films, and like I would really love to like. If I could just sit down with him and ask him, like, what was the thought process behind this? You know, why did you do it this way? Like if you watch the appendices, a lot of times you can see how they're like, they'll shoot something and they're like, this is absolutely not going to work. And then you can see them workshop it in real time. And so I know probably a lot of it was that as well, like knowing that's how they worked. But
you probably also have to have Fran and Philippa there though too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. If I could sit in a room with all of those people and have a conversation, I would probably die. Like, I'm not even kidding. That would be the coolest thing ever. But like to get to the understanding of why they did the things that they did and why they took out the things or why they changed the things that they changed. And like, besides it just being like you're like, oh, it probably just helped with the flow. You know, I would love to know the story behind, hey, why didn't we do this? Or why did we do it this way? And like, it has no bearing on the film at this point because it's already been made, but just to understand it and like that would be so amazing to me. Like to understand the thought process behind it all.
Which is why the appendices of those films are so cool.
Amazing, dude. Oh man.
To be the person who like got to film those and have the questions would have been amazing. Because that's your dream. Your dream is to be the
you know that there's stuff from those interviews that's actually not even in the appendices too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's also stuff stuff that Peter and Philip and Fran wrote and filmed.
Yeah.
That and was like
epilogue.
Yeah, well there's so much like listen, even Peter Jackson has said there's a lot of stuff. There could be a second extended edition, which is why Don Marshall made his videos about second extended edition, and then he just gave up. And he told me why one time, and I can't remember why.
I mean, you were there when we were talking about the history of with New Better Do Better and Belmont and everybody sitting at the table when we were going over everything in the maps.
Oh yeah. Well, I walked up like in the middle of that. Yeah.
So like that was me sitting in that silent awe for the like the entirety of Westmoot, listening to people talk about stuff because I am so not as versed as everybody else. Like I haven't read like half of the books that I have yet, and so like I don't even know half the time what you guys are talking about, and so like I'm trying to get to that point, and it's just so cool.
Zach, I need you to understand that I have faked it until I made it to seem like people think I know more than I know. I need you to understand that. Like, people think I know more than I know. I pretend really, really well. I learned how to mask at a very fucking young age and pretend to be like the people around me who I see are like succeeding in a way that I wish I could. That like I'm really good at just doing that now. And, and a lot of it is deflecting or like bending, like seeming to bend a little bit. Like, you know, I could see it that way too. Pay attention now that you know that. Pay attention next time you're on a live with me and we're doing Lord of the Rings things and someone brings up something and I go, well, this, and this, and someone goes, but also this. I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right. You know why I say that? Because I don't have all the information.
No, but what's so cool about it is that like I never felt nobody ever made me feel like, Zach, you should know this. You know, like I never felt that way. People, when I said, well, I don't know that story or that particular bit, people would get excited and they'd be like, oh, let me tell you. And that's what happened at the table. I was like, so wait, what are you talking about? And then New Better Do Better. It's like, where's the map? We got to figure this out. And like, and then Belmont's like, no, we got to start all the way here. And it was like, it was just so interesting and so cool.
In the
and
beginning, there was Andrew, the one.
Well, and that's what you got to understand. First of all, like we said this earlier in the podcast, it's like, who among us, specifically at Westmoot, we'll just go with Westmoot where we all met in person. Who among us there was neurotypical? Who, when you say, I don't know, this would have been like, and then they'll give you a point by point, like real quick, succinct thing. Like you said, I don't understand this. And we went, oh my God, I get the fucking info dump.
Yep.
That's what happened.
And it was great.
And also like
so much.
Right. And also like, who gives a fuck if you don't know what someone else knows, man?
Right.
Like, that's the joy of fucking art, is like learning from other people, or if you're the person who does know more than someone you're talking to get to info dump. Like, or if you do know the same stuff but you have different interpretations, that's the fun of it, is to see. That's what my podcast is about, bro.
It's being a part of this community and helping to build this community the way that we envision it to be. It's open, it's inviting, it's like we're curious about other people's opinions, and we're really excited to share with other people who might not know the things that we know. Like, it's a really,
100%.
really great thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, for real, like, if you don't know something, like, fucking don't ever. This is not just for you. This is for anybody listening or watching. If you don't know, do not be afraid to ask anybody that you ever see who you think might know. Even if you don't know if they know, just fucking ask. Because if you don't know, you can explore it yourself, explore it together, or be given information. And then that information may just be that person's interpretation, and you'll find another interpretation. And then you can like just kind of weave in and out and figure out the way you want to interpret it, because
Yeah.
like the things that I love are not the things that Krishane loves, not the things that you love, they're not the things that David love or Lee or Nubeta or Belmont or Karen or Jen or George or any of these people or Bree. Like these are my interpretations of things, and there are things that live in my heart, like have nestled really deep in my heart as to why I love certain characters and certain themes a lot that don't resonate the same way with other people.
That
like
is,
for me,
yes.
like for me specifically, I love the Estelle of everything, the eucatastrophe of everything. For those who don't know, Estelle is a type of hope that means faith. It's much more akin to faith than like actual hope, because hope is like I wish this would happen, whereas Estelle is I know that something good is going to happen. And eucatastrophe is the sudden joyous turn. It's what I call my partner, because when I met her, I was in a place in my life where I had kind of like given up on anything but like I'm just gonna go be a fucking I don't know, I'm gonna go make some TikToks and try to like pretend like I'm okay. Which, by the way, if you met me when that was going on, like I was not okay, but I'm doing better now, back in therapy. um, and I met her, and suddenly like things started to shift for me. You know, like it wasn't actually a sudden turn, but like it started to like suddenly things started to like become clearer, and like the things that matter to me like matter to me because they matter to me and not because I needed to be a certain way. And it was okay. Like she was showing me that it's okay to be who I am and like be the fucking nerdy dork, which is two of the same words. Just be this like nerdy, fun, like bright person that I am, and that's okay. Like who is like I embrace queer things. I fucking paint my nails. I'm fucking transgender. I'm on fucking hormones. Like all these things. Like all the shit that like with my fucking ex. Like I was like I'm so afraid to tell you. I fucking like told her, and she's like, yeah, I love it. Let's go. You know,
fully accepted.
So, but that's eucatastrophe. That's eucatastrophe. Yes, you fully accepted. But that's eucatastrophe. Is like when you don't expect something to fucking suddenly turn out amazingly. Like those are the things from Tolkien that are why I love this shit so much. But that might not be why Krishane likes it. That might not be why you like it, or Belmont, or
it is.
You said it is?
Yeah, fun fact, it is.
yeah. I want to do a whole episode on fucking eucatastrophe, because like
that would be amazing.
Not just the concept of not just it in Tolkien's works, but the concept of.
Yeah,
but that's a
and I find it fascinating, and I want to delve deeper into it as someone who doesn't have any actual like religious faith at all. Like how that can actually interface with someone who is an atheist or an agnostic, because I still find it very inspiring, even though I believe in no God.
That would be that's a whole thing.
I honestly, that is amazing. I would love to do an episode with you about that. As someone who grew up in a church and fell away and went back to a different church and fell away and went back to a different church and fell away. So it's actually really, really, really.
I just had the one and then I fell away and then I never went back. But yeah.
No, that's an awesome concept. I would love to have another episode with you where we talk about that stuff and have like in my mind is like have a straight up atheist, have a straight up like very devout person, specifically Catholic, just because Tolkien, and then like the two of us who like are the like we were there and then we fell.
Right, and not as like a debate sort of thing, because I don't like. I want everybody to have their own like belief system or non-belief system, and I want to respect that as long as they're respecting my non-belief. I think it's very interesting that there's a not unsubstantial number of people who are non-believers who actually find a lot of hope and light within Tolkien.
Yeah. So Krishane, you and I should definitely talk about doing an episode like that, because that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love that concept a lot, specifically because I love eucatastrophe and what it means, and like the because you don't get that Estelle without the eucatastrophe. And the thing is, and this is, I guess, not spoiler, but like preview, preview of that episode that isn't even in the works yet. Because you don't get eucatastrophe. I'm sorry, you can't have Estelle without having a previous eucatastrophe.
Yeah.
Like it's but also you can't have you don't end up getting eucatastrophes without that Estelle. It's a chicken and the egg situation. It really is. Anyways,
they're
so
inextricably bound.
There's some philosophy stuff going on there too. That's
shit,
going to be
that's what we should do.
I studied philosophy.
Oh, see, there you go.
I did too.
I took a couple classes
for the 2 years I was in college. I studied music and philosophy.
Yeah.
Well, I went to a Catholic college, so
this right here is just my philosophy books.
Nice. So well, shit, Zach, did you grow up Catholic?
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Maybe we'll just get one more person, Krishane, and then we'll do another episode. Anyways, but so yeah. Back to what I was saying is like that's the thing is like if you don't know, who gives a fuck? That's the beauty of art in general. We have just not chosen like we like made a conscious decision. There's something from the work triggered us to be like, this is my art.
Yeah.
This is the shit that resounds in my body, in my heart, in my soul, whatever you believe, so much that the ambience of it bounces within my being for all time.
Yeah.
And it does it for a different reason for every single person. And so, like I said, if you don't know shit, who gives a fuck? There's so many things I don't know.
I guarantee you that any Tolkien nerd is happy to provide you with information. Like anytime any of my other like non-Tolkien nerd friends ask me questions, if I get a text or like a message or something on Signal, if it's a Tolkien question, I'm like, yes, I'm going to do some work right now so I can answer this.
Yep.
It brings so much joy.
Yep, absolutely. Real quick though, we're going to end the episode in just a second, but before we go, I want to ask the most important question for this episode. If you could film your own Lord of the Rings and you have the power, you have all the money in the world, you have complete editing control. Fuck you, computer. I'm not giving a thumbs up. You have complete editing control. You have complete musical control. You have control. You have like you're the producer. You are the director. You are the writer. You're the editor. You're the composer. Everything. You are every single thing. If you have the power to do anything you could in a Lord of the Rings adaptation, what is the one scene? It doesn't have to be a full chapter. It could just be a scene. But what is the one thing that you would absolutely make sure is a cornerstone of your film?
Oh, good Lord.
I already know the answer.
Go ahead.
Gollum's almost repentance on the stairs of Cirith Ungol.
Yes.
So important. It's pivotal.
Yes.
All of the Tolkienian themes that I love about pity, mercy. It's just.
I really love that.
It is everything to me. And it made me. It was deeply upsetting to me that they made it what it was in the Peter Jackson film. So because
it's there.
That would be my cornerstone.
Because it's there. It's just not.
It's twisted into something completely different.
So that is sometimes it's my number one, sometimes it's not. It's in my top 3 things in the book. Is that passage. That's one of the few things from the book that hasn't been in the movies that I made fucking content on twice. Because when I read that I think it was 13 when I read The Lord of the Rings. When I read that as a 13-year-old, that had a profound impact on me because of the way Tolkien describes Gollum specifically, because he finally actually relates him to a hobbit.
Yeah.
And how tired he is.
Yeah.
And how his family is gone.
He has no hope.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Frodo, like the only person who's been kind to him, is his only beacon of light. And also, that scene also shows you the complexity of our heroes in the fact that Sam, as a hero, does something wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. It finally adds a gray area to Sam. That is one of the few arguments I have all the time on the internet about Lord of the Rings, is when people are like, Sam Gamgee's perfect. There's nothing wrong with him. I'm like, I'm sorry. Tolkien himself points out, doesn't say, points out that had it not been for Sam, Gollum would have 100% repented, because Gollum was on the precipice of repentance.
Yeah.
But it's when Sam rebukes him simply for caressing Frodo in a loving way, because of the way Frodo's pity has affected Smeagol. Sam sees it and takes it the wrong way and yells at Gollum, and then the green light comes back in his eyes.
That's the end. It
and
just
that green light
to the edge, and he never comes back after that.
That green light never leaves, because he's Gollum. From then on, Smeagol is dead. Yeah, excuse me. Wow. Zach, what about you?
Oh gosh, I can't top that.
You don't have to top it, dude. We're not
no, that's fantastic. Well, it has been quite a while since I've read The Lord of the Rings, but not as long since I've read The Hobbit.
Mm-hmm. And we can go for The Hobbit if you want to use that one.
I mean, I think there's two scenes or two things in particular that come to mind to me as something that if I was making these movies, I would 100% need to have perfect.
Okay.
For The Hobbit, for me, it would be Riddles in the Dark. Mm-hmm. I think they did a pretty good job in the Peter Jackson movies. I think that was probably the one thing that they loved. It felt like they really loved doing in that mm-hmm. whole trilogy. That one to me, I think, is very important because that is the finding of the One Ring, and I would want that to be very impactful. And I think that the last thing for me probably would have been the Scouring of the Shire. And the Scouring of the Shire and leading up to the very last line of the film, which is the last line of the film, but also the last line of the book, which is, "Well, I'm back." I think that is very impactful as well. At least it was for me. That was something that I always remembered. Like, this was the end. From when I watch those movies, when I hear Eleanor, which is the name of the song that plays at the very end, with that little penny whistle, and it goes up really high, and then it kind of fades into the end. Like, that makes me cry every single time. I will cry pretty much the last 30 minutes of the film anyway. But when I read the books, and I read that, and it was the same, it felt like it was over again. If that makes any sense. I don't know how else to explain it, but that was so impactful to me that they did do that, but that would have to stay. I want the whole Scourging of the Shire. Yeah. So I think that shows a lot of good. It shows that the whole world is not perfect, right? It's still not.
You're
perfect.
Not safe anywhere from.
You're not safe anywhere from the clutches of evil, of things that can happen, and I think that's important. And as much as it was important for me to see the Shire untouched in the films, because that's what I wanted, I think the Scourging of the Shire would have a very different type of impact that could be just as impactful and what people would want to see, even if it wasn't happy. That makes sense.
So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I want to hear you.
Something that you said, I latched onto right there. It's like you said, seeing it untouched is what you want to see. Like, that's your ideal. That's what you would like to see. But I think it's interesting because think about, that's essentially Frodo's perspective. That is why he left with the ring in the first place, is to protect the Shire, not to destroy the ring in Mount Doom. And then he comes back, and that didn't happen. The Shire was still touched, and I think that has a lot to do with why he had to leave. It's not just the physical wounds and the Morgul blade and getting stung by Shelob and not being. A big part of it, obviously, is not being able to give the ring up of his own free will in the end. But I think the Scouring of the Shire and seeing not only the Shire physically harmed by war, but also seeing that some hobbits themselves had gone over to the bad side.
Yeah.
I think that was, I don't think he could mentally, emotionally escape from that. And I think
it would have had a different impact.
It almost makes him feel like he has failed. And that's part of why he needs to go to Valinor for healing.
And that's why I think, I agree with you, Zach, and Krishane. I think the Scouring of the Shire is the most important chapter in the entire book.
Yeah.
Truthfully. Especially if you're going from Tolkien's perspective.
Yeah.
Because
I remember
you look at, I'm sorry, go ahead, Zach.
No, I was gonna say I remember when I read that, I was like dumbfounded. Like I was like, how could you do this to the Shire? Like the Shire is supposed to be beautiful and this peaceful, amazing, like almost like heaven on Middle Earth, you know? Like it's supposed to be this.
And you read it as a kid like I did. You go like, wait a minute, I thought the ring was destroyed. Why is there more bad stuff? It's supposed to be happily ever after. And Tolkien went, that's not how the real world fucking works.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
That right there is why it's important. I don't give a fuck about Hollywood, and they're like, well, it's anticlimactic. Like, is it really? Is it really anticlimactic? Well, the story's over. Well, fuck you then. Make a whole fucking fourth film. Make a fourth film then, motherfucker. Yeah. Make have Return of the King end at Aragorn's crowning, and then make a fucking to be continued at the end, and make fucking Lord of the Rings, The Scouring of the Shire, because that's a whole fucking film.
Yeah. I remember that being very impactful on me as a kid, of being like, especially after watching the movie first and expecting something like that to be like, because that was the thing about reading the books after seeing a lot of the movies, was like, this is supposed to be like this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. And I just remember reading that and being like, how could you do this? But also being filled with like sadness, but also like happiness with the fact that they were still able to fight back. Even the hobbits were able to fight back. Like that gave me like a type of hope, like a feeling of like, you don't have to be this grand hero like Aragorn. You could literally just be a hobbit and you can still fight back. And like that, as a kid, I was like, I can fight back. You know,
it's almost like it's 100% in line with. Okay, listen, I feel like a terrible Tolkien fan. I can't remember if it's from the films or if it's in the books, but like even the smallest person can change the course of the world. I'm pretty sure that's only from the films.
I think you're right. I think it's only the films.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't know 100%. I'm gonna go ahead with my gut and say it's only from the films. But that is if it really is only from the films, that is the most succinct, perfect way to encapsulate The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
I'd agree.
Because, and actually, a lot of the fucking Silmarillion, because a lot of the big shit that happens in the Silmarillion, that ain't because of the most powerful people, unless you're Luthien.
And like, I mean, yes, she's the daughter of a demigod, but she's also she's a princess. She's hanging out in the forest for her whole life, not really.
She also doesn't use like a strength. Yeah, she also doesn't use like the strength that you would think of to overcome things. Yeah. She uses a different type of strength. Yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. Perfectly in line, Zach. And also, like, I think it's a very important lesson. Like, that is, besides what Krishane said, those are my two biggest problems with the. There's the fucking. There it is. The goddamn balloons. There it is.
That was so perfect.
I'm gonna have to start doing this. I'm gonna have to start doing the two with the fucking index and the pinky. Those are my two favorite. Those are my two things that piss me off the most about the storytelling narrative of Lord of the Rings in film form. Is the redemption of Gollum, which includes Frodo sending Sam away because like that's bullshit as fuck. So it's that, and also the no scouring, because those are probably two of the most important lessons that Tolkien has in that book. Those are probably the two most important lessons, is because the Sam Gollum Frodo thing, the almost redemption of Gollum, is like the quintessence of pity. Like that is the thesis on pity.
With a capital P, which is empathy, essentially.
Yeah, that's almost like his thesis statement on sympathy. And the Scouring of the Shire is his thesis statement on like, you're not safe anywhere. You have to stay vigilant all the time. And if you don't worry. There's strength in numbers. As long as you work together, we will be okay.
That's a good lesson for right now too.
It sure is.
Interesting. I wonder how different the world would be had Lord of the Rings, because obviously, like, we've seen a lot of like A Bug's Life, which didn't have a huge impact on the world, but Lord of the Rings did. And if The Scouring had been a part of that film series, whether it was an epilogue, like a second film, or an actual epilogue, I wonder how different the world would be.
Yeah.
Not to say that like art really changes people that much, but like
it can.
It could. Yes, exactly. So, with that being said, thank you both for being on here. I really appreciate you both. Before we go, though, I have to ask, Zach, where can we find you if people want to engage more with you and talk more about like editing and films of any kind?
Yeah, I'm on pretty much everything: Instagram, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube, all under Zach Vlogs, ZAKVLOGZ. I think that's everything, right? Maybe. Let me just look at my apps real fast.
Feel free, man.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. Yeah, but it's all just under Zach Vlogs. And always more than happy to have a good discussion, or you can ask a question, and I'm always happy to do some research and make a video and anything like that. It's always a good time.
I have a question, Zach. Do you have any like projects you're working on right now?
Oh yeah. So completely unrelated to Lord of the Rings of any kind. Literally 1 week from today, I'm going to a Weird Al concert.
Wait, where?
In Kansas City.
Okay, because I'm going to a Weird Al concert a week from Sunday.
He's probably it's his bigger, weirder tour, right?
Yeah. He's going to Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I got the VIP package, so I get to meet him.
I don't know what I have.
Show.
My friend told me I don't have to pay him shit. He just wanted to take me. So
a free concert. That's great.
100%.
When I first started making videos for YouTube and for myself, I did a lot of music videos, and Weird Al was what I was listening to as a kid. And so right now the project that I'm working on is I want to go and find all my old music videos and kind of make a little Zach Vlogs, which is the reason I call myself Zach Vlogs, is I've been making vlogs. And I want to make a little Zach Vlogs about me starting out as a kid making these stupid music videos and now going to an actual concert and getting to meet him after the show. And
fuck yeah.
So that's the project that I'm currently working on as I smack my microphone.
That's very Richard Linklater of you. Boyhood. Very Boyhood.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I also used in my Lord of the Rings, in my trip to New Zealand 3-part video called Zach Vlogs There and Back Again, or There and Back Again, a Zach Vlogs Tale. I did the same thing. I found a whole bunch of old footage, my old Lord of the Rings movie, and I put it in the beginning, and I made my own prologue, just like in the Lord of the Rings movies. And putting that all together and watching it, it's weird to see myself so many years ago and where I'm at now. It's weird. Going back and watching this stuff is weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't regret it. It's a little cringe, but you know.
Right on. Well, thank you very much, Zach. I really appreciate you being here. Krishane, Krishane's is different than her name at all. So where can people find you, talk to you about any Lord of the Rings Tolkien content or editing or fan edits or whatever?
I am mostly on Threads as The Last Malorn. I am also on Instagram.
You spell that real quick for everyone?
Yes. The TheLastMalorn. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee.
I saw you looking up and to the, I think that'd be your left. I don't know. I think I'm different. Like I'm oriented different than you. But I saw you looking up and thinking, that's all good. You got it. I appreciate it. I just want to
make sure I was getting it right because I've been imbibing a little bit. So being real extra careful there.
Right.
Yeah, so I am The Last Malorn. I am on Threads. I'm on Instagram. I've got a Facebook page. I don't really use it anymore. I hate Facebook. And I will venture into TikTok occasionally, but I don't make videos. So Threads is where it's at for me. I have a real good time on Threads. I'm a little bit of a goblin on there. Get a little bit of my fan editing information, a little bit of food posting, and like Hobbit day planning and stuff. I'm all over the place.
Yeah. If people want to check out any of your, like, if they want to like watch a fan edit with you, where would they find that?
So
Should they just hit you up randomly?
You just hit me up. And I always post, if you follow me on Threads, I will post a couple of reminders about those watch parties in like about 3 days before and then on the day of, and it'll have the link to the Discord group there, the Discord server. So then you can join that Discord server. It's not mine. It is our friend Kate's. But yeah, we are on Discord for those watch parties, and I post those reminders with the links pretty often leading up to them.
Awesome. Thank you both so much for being here. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Tolkien on Tap. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on any of my social medias. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at @the_Neej. Namarie.